So, here we go again. Hello, beautiful bookworms. My name is Katarina. In case you've forgotten, unsubscribed, went somewhere new, and decided to give up on me because I have been almost an entire year without publishing any kind of content. And welcome to my channel, which remained the same. I have been answering to people that have been watching my previous videos. I have been watching other booktubers. I have been seeing the world. I have been transforming into a workaholic. I have been struggling with some mental health. I have been changing my life somewhat. And here I am again, hopefully to bring you a little bit more content. Now, I am going to be incredibly honest with you guys. I won't be able to post each and every week. That is not going to happen. That was the way that I used to post previously to my gigantic hiatus of even previously to the last post that I did or the last content that I did, because at that moment I was already working and I didn't have the time to actually be doing content anymore. So I won't be posting regularly. So if that is something that you guys are not okay with, I fully understand if you don't want to be on the channel anymore, which is going to be a little bit sad, but I understand. But if you still want to see my face, that is going to happen. I have found new ways to be around, and I found a little tiny bit of time to actually bring you some new content and talking about things that I find really cool. I am expecting to talk a lot about books because I will now have the time to read a bit more, finally. But I'm expecting to talk about some other things, maybe other type of content, if I do feel so inclined. Do not expect a lot from me, okay? Because I'm still working, I still have a lot of things to do. I decided to take another course after graduating in psychology. I decided to now try another completely different thing, which is related to it, but it's not the same. So I'm doing another master's after my PhD in psychology, which, yes, I know, I'm insane while working. So I will have a little bit of time, but I'm not going to post consistently, okay? So I just wanted to warn you before getting into this video. This is going to be a review. I have been reading some nice things, some weird things, and I wanted to bring those things up with you guys because I don't know if you've read particularly this thing that I'm going to talk to you about today. And since my intro is already very long, let's get into the video. So what I wanted to talk to you guys about today is a graphic novel. You guys already know, and for those of you that don't know me or haven't been here for a while, I like to talk about books, I like to talk about graphic novels, mangas, all of that. I read a lot of things in all of this spectrum of reading. And today I'm going to be talking about a graphic novel that I've read recently at the beginning of the year. And I'm just talking about it now because I needed some time to pass so that I could accumulate all of the greatness that this graphic novel is. If you hear some noise, it is the fan from my computer, which is currently working. I hope it doesn't make you not hearing what I'm saying. So, this is a graphic novel I'm talking about. It is called Assorted Crisis Events, and it's only volume 1. To my knowledge, it hasn't come out of volume 2 yet. So, I am not entirely sure if this is coming out in comics or not, but I'm reading it in trades, so in graphic novel format. So, let me just shut my computer up. So, this is how I read it, and this is an incredible graphic novel. First of all, it is fairly weird, so for those of you that don't like timey-wimey, wobbly sort of things, and for those of you that know Doctor Who, I hope you got that one, this is not the most indicated thing. For those of you that like non-linear storytelling that messes with your head, this is the appropriate thing for you to read. I will warn you right now, there are some trigger warnings. There is some talk of suicide. There is some actual suicide portrayed. There is also some desperation throughout the entirety of the graphic novel, right up until the end. And this basically talks about how society is evolving for some sci-fi-ish event that will make people do some time jumps, that will make people do some weird looping effects, and that will make some people disappear and appear in other time places, that will make some worlds appear. Like, our world is not exactly just our world. It's like there's parallel worlds that go on like ours, but they are suffering. It has a lot of sci-fi-ish concepts, but it's not very hard to grasp. And it only has 5 stories engraved in this trade, and all of these stories have some sort of a reflection that will make us actually think a little bit about society and about ourselves and our place in society. It will also make us reflect about our feelings, the way that we view another and ourselves and our positions, and the way that we relate to each other, and the way that we view things differently. It is an incredible, actually, graphic novel to read right now, the way that the world is, because it impacts themes of immigration, it impacts themes of empathy, it impacts themes of being stuck in this cycle. It also impacts themes, obviously, as I've told you, it has trigger warnings for suicide. It impacts themes of mental health and of violence. There's also trigger warnings for domestic violence at a point. And it impacts daily life and the way that we feel. Ultimately, the way that a lot of us going on our daily lives feel stuck in a cycle, even though there's stuff happening all around us every day, and we just don't pay attention to it. Or we pay too much attention to it, if you guys catch my drift. But we feel like we can't truly live the way that we are living. It's like we are living in a nightmare that we can't wake up from. It's like we live day by day by day, and it's kind of a habit at this point. Or it's like things are changing, and at the beginning we embrace that change, but then the change is scary. And I think if you would like to reflect on the world around you, if you have the patience to stop and kind of read this calmly, you would really love to just get into the mind of this creator and get into the mind of this graphic novel, because it has some points to be made, and it kind of doesn't hit you in the head with these points. It just tells you stories, and you can interpret them any way that you like. I do believe that the thematics here are very well thought of, are very well developed, and are not like, you don't immediately see it coming. You're just stuck in the story, and then you reach the end and you are like, this hit me so fucking hard that I need to stop and think about it. And it's really good. It brings you a little bit of a feeling of, will my life ever change? Will the world ever change? Will these people ever change? And all the while, you see that the world as we know it is kind of going to an apocalyptic change. There's this character that appears in all of the stories that kind of promises you that something bigger is going to come, and a bigger destruction, a bigger happening, a bigger something is going to come and is going to affect everyone. And it is just, I don't know how to tell you guys, but everything in here, I ended up this trade actually crying for one of the stories. And some of the others, I had to read them and then stop and put the graphic novel down and go do something else, and then the next day catching up with another story. And others I just read really fast and then went back to the next one and just kept on reading, because the writing style of this is incredible. The way it's narrated, the way it presents the characters, the way it presents all of these reflections is really amazing. Also, the panels in here and the art style in here is drawn in a way that all of the story is taken to reflect what is happening, and through all of the drawings and through all of the panels, it is presented to you as a story, but also as a reflection of what is going on, and also as a way to make you reflect on what is going on. There is an incredible, and if you like panel constructions in graphic novels, or if you read graphic novels for the art more than the story, you will also have a lot to appreciate on this trait. You can see all of the entirety of the construction of the story being made, the use of color specifically as a way to convey an idea and to convey a story and to make you feel like what you're reading has a point and what you're viewing has a different point and is trying to attract you to specific places of the panel and is trying to pass on different ideas and is trying to make you feel in a certain way, like the way that the colors and that the movements of the image are shown bring out a certain emotion in you that obviously the writing brings out, but it brings out more, and it's also well combined. Like, I am not an artist, I am a writer. I want to be an amateur writer, obviously, but I don't understand a lot about art style, but I do understand about the emotions that it brings out. And there's so many in this, so many. It's just such an incredible work from all of the people involved, which I'm going to tell you who they are in a moment because I forgot to do that when I presented this. It's amazing, and if you want to read something this year that is going to be great, and that's a graphic novel, this one is amazing. I think it's incredibly important at the time that we are right now. All of our countries preparing actually for what looks like to be a war, which is not funny at all because we don't know how our lives are going to be after this. And actually, all of the ratings of mental sickness going up because all of us are like receiving so many information at so many times, and all of us are just going from point A to point B, and all of our lives are like a cycle of worrying after another worrying, and it's the perfect time to read this and reflect. Except if you're already having some sort of depressive thoughts because of the state of the world. In that case, I don't recommend this because your health first, okay? So this is a work by Camp, Zawadzki, Belair, Otzman, Elhau, and Mueller. Please go read this. It's perfect. I really enjoyed it, and it was one of my biggest surprises of the beginning of the year, one of the books that I liked the most, and I'm talking about this in April, so 4 months have passed since the beginning of the year, and I still think about this. It's incredible, it's amazing, and it was worth making a review about it. So if you're looking for something that is going to blow your mind, Assorted Crisis Events, definitely. This one is worth it. So that's going to be it for today, guys. If you like this video, leave a like or subscribe, and tell me in the comments down below if you know this work or if there's any graphic novels or comics that you've actually read this year that you found surprising that you would like me to read. I can't promise I will do it, but I can try and make a list of the things that you guys would like me to review or to read. So that's going to be all for today, and happy readings to you all. Bye!